among my people are found wicked men. I want to first and foremost give all honor, all praise, and all glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rechak, Wadash. Dub understood the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. And as always, peace, blessings, and salutations to the fully like tabernacle of David scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth. And I just want to play back, some of this video that you had the actor Terrence Howard. He came on this podcast and started, going into, dark experiences within the industry, Hollywood, the music industry. And he gets to talking about, what actually happens when you sell your soul, when you, sell your manhood. All right. And usually, he's bugged out. He'll say certain things that's, bug the hell out, but he also says things that does make a lot of sense. All right. And him being in that industry, he would know what goes on. So this is fair use. I definitely want to use this video, as a reference for, the lesson, which is not going to be a long lesson, but, this is why the Lord, this is why he's talked about gaining the whole world and losing your soul. All right. This is really is not worth it. Because, once your soul has been sold, you rarely ever get it back, if ever. All right. And things change. Your energy is different. Your thought process is different. Like you morally and spiritually have been defiled once you sell your soul. All right. A big chunk of you leave when your soul has been sold, when your man card has been taken from you. And that's why these entertainers, a lot of them are bugged the hell out. So anyway, I'm gonna let Terrence Howard break it down. And this is fair use. Lord's willing, don't try to get me for copyright. This is fair use, and I'm taking a gamble with playing this footage. But I just want to use this for reference. So without further ado, so listen.
To do in order to get to where he was at. There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head. But when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time.
And that's why ultimately the law is to put that man out of his misery. The giver and the receiver, they both being men, you got to put them out. Because they both then generated that dark left hand energy. There's spiritual defilement as well as, their physical. Okay. Then giving themselves over to uncleanness, and now them demons are being generated and they follow you everywhere you go now. You introduce them left hand spirits to you, man, when you indulge in that practice. All right. And a big piece of you leaves you. So people, what he's saying here, this is why the law called for the two individuals who do such a thing to be put down, Leviticus 20 and 13. Because if you continue to live with that dark cloud over you, you're going to be in misery. You got to live with that in your head for the rest of your life, man. You never fully recover from that. So you're better off just going back to the spiritual realm. Anyway, let's keep going.
You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and being do all those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some over greater desire. You should have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
There it is, man. And I agree with him. You know, it's definitely not worth that, man. You know, the scriptures tell us to, you know, to show yourselves men. But once that happens, you know, that man card, along with the integrity and the character that you normally have as a man, that goes out the window. So let me get this real quick. Sirach, Sirach 10 in verse 9, and it says, "Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man." And like he mentioned, you know, certain men they do that because they're very covetous. They're doing it for some kind of desire. You know, the want for something. You know, whether it be fame, you know, wealth, that they're willing to, you know, sell their own man card, like he said, which you giving off a big piece of your energy in exchange for, you know, unclean, troubling spirits that can continue to hover over you as long as you live. You become very impure. You're no longer seen in the image, the likeness and image of the creator, the being that made you. Because you didn't corrupted your image. So that's why it's so damn wicked. It says, "For such an one setteth his own soul to sell, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels." All right, and that's man, that's like a double entendre there, because yeah, your bowels is your internal organs, all right, that digest into the very organ that releases, that sends waste, you know, through an exit. All right, to go out of your body. But your bowels also can represent your soul, your spirit. You know, because there's certain scriptures where they use the word bowels and heart interchangeably. Let me go to Psalms 22 real quick. There's Psalms 22. And this is a Psalm of David, you know, a cry of being in anguish. And this was also prophecy of Yahushua when he suffered, you know, on his final day. All right. This is Psalms 22 and 13. I'll start at 12. It says, "Many bulls have compassed me, strong bulls of Bashan have beset me round. They gaped upon me with their mouths as a ravening and a roaring lion. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax, it is melted in the midst of my bowels." And is that talking about his actual heart, the organ that's pumping blood, you know, through his bloodstream? Obviously not. All right, this is, you know, You know that when David sung, it was like poetry. But basically, this is him crying out in anguish. You know, when you're in anguish, when you're in agony, all right, when you're feeling, feeble and weak and nervous, this is kind of an experience that he's describing, but he's being poetic about it. But he uses the word bowels. All right. Now, does it mean your actual, you know, rectum? Is he talking about your intestines? The word itself can mean that, but it's actually talking about your soul. All right. Now, the Hebrew word for bowels in this verse is maya maya maya. And then you go down here, it says from an unused root, probably meaning to be soft, used only in plural, the intestines, or collectively, the abdomen, figuratively, sympathy by implication, a vest, by extension, the stomach, the uterus, or of a man, the seat of generation, the heart, figuratively, which is why you read this verse, it talks about his heart, and then it talks about his bowels. All right. Internal organs, inward parts, bowels, intestines, belly. Inward parts, digestive organs, organs of procreation, womb. 4, place of emotions or distress or love, figuratively. All right. And, talking about feeling, when you experience your emotions, that's dealing with, your affections, your feelings, your appetite. All that is connected together. That's what makes up your soul, which rests in your mind while you're here in the flesh. That's what makes a soul. Okay. Now, real quick, let me go to I know this is in Matthew, but I'm not sure which chapter. I think Matthew 11, destroy both body and soul in hell. Because your soul can experience hell, which hell is just a condition that's played out. Like when Jonah went into the belly of that fish for 3 days and 3 nights, he said that he was in hell. So does that literally mean that you're in this center core place that's in the center of the earth? Where you're burning forever, or you in some spiritual compartment somewhere away from heaven and earth, and you're sitting there and you're just getting your spirit is getting flamed up. Nah, man. So when the Lord said this, right, this is Matthew 10 and 27, it says, what I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light, and what you hear in the earth, it's like what you hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. Both rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell, or basically in misery and in torment. All right. And the word for soul is psyche. All right. In the Greek, you get the word psyche, which deals with what? Your mind. And it says here, it says breath, that's dealing with your spirit, of course. The breath of life, the vital force which animates the body and shows itself in breathing. And then when you read the second one, the soul, it says the seat of the feelings, desires, affections, aversions, our heart, soul. All right. So that's pretty much the seat of, you know, your emotions, your affections, your desires, your love. All right. And that's what makes you you. That's you know, the essence that differs from the body. All right. And your body needs, I mean, your soul needs an inhabitable body. All right, to make it function. All right. So when you sell your soul, all of those things get compromised. It gets corrupted. You know, now you're a corrupted soul. So if you had any moral principles, if you know you were trained up a certain way, once your soul has been gone, that all that goes out the window. And now you're a slave to the one who took your energy from you. All right. Now your feelings, desires, and affections is to that person who took your man card. And he's giving in exchange for that, he's giving you what you desire. So that's wicked. All right. And hey, it's no different than when this devil, when he makes you take that MOTB, it's like he's taking your man card in a different way. You know, he may have not have, you know, went up your exit and took corrupted your soul and took your energy from you in that regard, but technologically he put that device implanted into your body. All right. And he can manipulate and alter your entire life through that device. It's like your soul has been sold. We're supposed to glorify only the Heavenly Father in this body, man, through His only begotten Son. You know, our soul is to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. So in this particular verse, you know, the Lord is basically saying, don't fear a man who can only just, you know, kill your body, and your spirit is going to immediately go back to the Heavenly Father in the spiritual realm, and you're going to, you know, be at rest. But rather fear the Most High, who can keep your spirit in your body and just straight up torment you. All right. That's worse than death itself. So anyway, going back to that verse, I'll read it again. It says, Sirach 10:9, it says, why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, for such a one setteth his own soul to sell, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels. And you, after you do that, you're no longer you. You know, you're not the same. And I'm sure, you know, Diddy turned out a lot of these rappers. You know, he took them niggas shopping and invited them to parties. You know, like when he was telling Fabulous on that Drink Champs episode, but we ain't partied though. Like we ain't party. You know exactly what he was talking about. So, and that's why those, you know, rappers, they try to hide behind a persona. You know, they got to wear shades all the damn time. They got to mark their body up with all these tattoos. They hiding something, man. Chains and tattoos, that's all a mask, a costume to hide their hurt, their insecurity, you know, their trauma. And the same with these actors, man. So that was right on point what Terrence Howard was saying. And let me get Yahushai. Matthew 16, and I'll start at the 25th verse. And it says, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world, and it's the devil that's, you know, promising you the world. It's like he tried to entice Yahushua when he was being tempted. All right, he was fasting 40 days and 40 nights, so he was at his weakest physically. But you better believe, man, he was at an all-time high spiritually, during that fast. So Satan couldn't do nothing with Yahushua, but he was trying to get Yahushua to sell his soul in exchange for the world. I'll give you these kingdoms, right? If you will bow down and worship me. So Yahushua is saying here, what is it a man profited if he shall gain the whole world, especially knowing that this current world is going to pass away. That's why the scriptures say, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world, man. And the fashion of it is going to pass away. This current world, which is ruled by the wicked, is going to pass away with great noise and fervent heat. It's going to be dissolved. So what did you gain in the end? Your soul has been sold. You've been compromised. You're no longer looked at as a man. All right. Just like in the prison system, those that are in the penitentiary, the men who were weak, they got their manhood took, their man card took. They're no longer seen as a man in there. You basically you don't get any respect that a man gets. All that respect is lost. Nobody looks at you the same. That's why was it Biscuit on Life? He was in a relationship with Jangalang, played by the late Bernie Mac, and he got news that he was getting ready to go home, and he was like, I can't go home like this, because he was somebody else's bitch in there. The manhood was gone. His family wouldn't be able to see him the same, so he couldn't live any longer with that. So what did he do? He ran past the gun line so that, his life can get took. He didn't want to live any longer. You have that guilty conscience, that dark cloud over you. It's real. It says, and lose his own soul, or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Because you once you sell it, it's gone. And all you have after that is a guilty conscience. So, this a little clip right here, this would have inspired me to do this little lesson, all right, with what he was saying here. And he would definitely know. So, hopefully they don't try to, take this video down. This is fair use, but I'm going to give all honor, all praise, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Until the next lesson, Shalom.